So the Los Angeles Lakers have an important stretch of basketball come up, in my opinion. If they want to stay within striking distance of the number 2 seed or get home court advantage in the first round. And the reason why I think it's important because they have a 5-game homestand. They got off to a great start yesterday against Phoenix, snapping that 4-game losing streak. Of course, they don't have the service of LeBron James because of that groin injury he had against Boston. Then they went out and lost to Brooklyn, lost to Milwaukee, lost to Denver, but Luka didn't play in that game. But what I love is Luka in the past 2 games is starting to look like himself. He had 45 points, 11 rebounds in that game against Milwaukee. Then you fast forward to Phoenix yesterday. He had 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. And today, the Lakers are going to play the Spurs, and they don't have De'Aaron Fox. Victor obviously is out for the season as well. So they're not trying to contend for a playoff spot. They're trying to play for a lottery spot in the draft. So if I'm the Lakers, have a good night tonight. You just got Jackson Hayes back as well yesterday. I think that's important as well, just to have some front court depth, have a guy who can catch lobs, rebound the basketball, and just help Luka Doncic on offense. Austin Reeves, he's got to be consistent this week. And I think for the Lakers, it's very important. Their next 4 games, you got the Spurs. That should be a win. You've got Denver, Milwaukee in back-to-backs. As long as they can split that, that's a W because you have Chicago at home on Saturday. That should be a win. And now you look at the homestand going, okay, we handled our business. We finished 4-1. And if LeBron James comes back next week against Orlando on the road, that's huge. Or against Indiana. Rui Hachimura as well. He's expected to be back next week. So if you can play good basketball this week, get into form, and you get back on track, especially when they had that 8-game winning streak, they were looking really scary, in my opinion. So if they can ramp things back up and keep Golden State at a 1 to 2 game distance for that 5th spot, or let's just say they can climb to the 3rd seed this week, that would also be huge, or the 2 seed. That would help out a lot. But I think right now the Lakers also need to focus on health because we know LeBron James are going to take their time with him. If they notice any signs of his groin acting up or giving him a hard time, they're probably going to rest him for another week. So Lakers just need to take this homestand very serious, play some good basketball, and just have a lot of fun out there. If they get Rui back by next week, and let's say LeBron James is still out, you add another piece to your role players. And again, if they can have a good homestand and also go on the road, I know they go against Orlando first, Indiana, and I know they go to Chicago during that stretch as well, in Memphis. And then they come back home against Houston. If they can get LeBron James back during that road trip and they're playing good basketball, great things ahead for the Lakers. I think the most important part, again, stay healthy, manage Luka's minutes. Don't overplay him. Make sure he's healthy for the playoffs. Also, look at Vando's minutes because he's not always super durable. You need him in the playoffs for defensive matchups. You need him out there to switch 1 through 5, to, guard a guy like SGA 5 minutes and just make it hard on him. Things like that. So I would also manage Vando's minutes because he's not the most durable player in the world. So they need to make sure he's healthy down the stretch. But again, I know they had a tough stretch, especially without LeBron James. I expected that. But I love the fact that Luka is getting the ball more and he can just take over games and not really worry about LeBron James right now and just, play his style. And obviously LeBron and Luka were playing really well. And it was scary that it was like an 8-game winning streak and they were just at a different level defensively. The Lakers are really good. I'm not going to lie. Now, what concerns me is the big man position. That's why I think having Jackson Hayes is important out there. Will it work in the playoffs? We shall see because, again, the playoffs are a different animal. I do expect Luka and LeBron to be playing at a high level, but will it be enough to hide the defensive deficiencies they might run into for the rim protection? That could be a factor in the playoffs. We shall see. But at the end of the day, I still think this is an important stretch of basketball games for Luka and the Lakers just to have a good week. And even if they, let's say they lose to the Bucks and Nuggets, they beat Chicago and San Antonio. Yeah, you might be just a game ahead of Golden State, or maybe Golden State does lose and you still have, 2-game lead. They're still going to be in good shape. As long as they can get healthy down the stretch, don't fall out of the top 5. And if they're able to only get to top 4 in the Western Conference or even 5th, that's a W because I don't think they're worried about the Rockets. I wouldn't worry about them. No disrespect to Houston. They're a good basketball team. But in the playoffs, it's a different animal. I don't think they beat the Lakers. I think the Lakers beat them in 6 games because, again, I'm not taking guys like Jalen Green, Sangoon over LeBron and Luka. I'm just not going to do that. I know Amen Thompson's really good. Hopefully he's healthy for the playoffs, but that's not enough to convince me that they're going to beat the Lakers, especially when you look at Luka, you look at LeBron, if they got Vanderbilt out there, and obviously, Finney Smith's been really good as a defender and knocking down his threes, and Austin Reeves taking over. It's just hard to pick against the Lakers. So the important thing is this: get healthy, Make sure you manage Luka's minutes. Don't overplay him. Like if you want to sit him out in the back-to-back between Denver and Milwaukee, do what you got to do, just like you did last week. Because again, it's important to get him healthy or make sure he stays healthy for the playoffs. Don't have any nagging injuries. Just play it safe. And if you can get to like 3-1 this week, or really 4-1 in their homestand, that's massive. Especially if you can get LeBron James back against Orlando, or if you want to sit him out because you feel like they can win without him, go ahead and do that too. Because Orlando's been struggling this year a lot, and then you get him back for Indiana, you're good to go. Just make sure you manage his groin injury because I know, he's 40 years old. He's had a history of groin problems in the past. I remember in the 2018 season, the Lakers were looking like a playoff contender early on December. Then he injures groin and he was out for the rest of the year. So play it cautiously, have a good week. As long as they keep playing good basketball and Luka is giving you these type of numbers, Lakers will be just fine. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for Luka to give you like 30, 35 a night, give you, double-digit assists, 9, 10 rebounds a game. If he can do that this week, and even if they don't win them all, it's a good sign because that means Luka is beginning to ramp up. He's getting into shape. And yeah, those are scary times ahead. If Luka begins to be consistent at shooting the ball from the field and, getting his points, his rebounds, and assists up, and then LeBron comes back, you integrate him into the lineup, it's going to be a scary time for the NBA. But yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about what happened to the Lakers last week. Everyone goes through a tough stretch, especially if you don't have one of your best players out there. I mean, you lost LeBron James for a week. That's going to happen. But I don't think it was a bad thing what took place because Luka had some good games. And yeah, they lost a few of them. I think they went, 1-3 during the stretch so far without LeBron. That's not a bad thing. I don't think that's bad. So if they can survive without LeBron in the week, have a good homestand, they're looking pretty down the stretch, and we'll see how it goes. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the status of the Lakers right now. Are you worried about LeBron's injury? What should the Lakers be prioritizing right now? Should they be going all in for these wins, prioritizing their health, and balancing where they're at in the Western Conference? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.